I never thought I'd see this in my lifetime. Not once. Talking about it in school and classes. Government falls, especially our own. I never thought I'd see this happen in my lifetime. Never. What's going on, zombies? Are we alive yet? Are we awake yet? Because I sure as hell ain't. It's 12:36 in the morning, West Coast time. It's February 1st of 2025. I'm sick to my stomach. I'm seeing things happening right now that I am not quite sure how to make sense out of all of it. I mean, normally I would do a video, still blame people left or right because of the situation over here. But the thing is, when we're dealing with blaming, we're still pointing the fingers at each other. Well, we still haven't accepted transparency, responsibility, or accountability. And what's worse is we still have a renegade government. How the hell got ourselves in this situation? See, I don't get it. I'm trying to make sense out of all of this. It's one thing to read history books about how autocracies happen and discuss it with teachers, professors, learned scholars, even your own colleagues, your own peers. But never did I imagine in my worst nightmare my own country of the United States of America going into an autocracy. And we're supposed to think it's all right. That we don't have Congress, lawmakers, thinking that this is all right. It's all right to go against the Constitution. Do we actually have the most absolute corrupt government on the face of the planet? Or are we among those who just lasted long enough that it's going to be collapsing on ourselves? 249 years. Next year would have been 250-year birthday of a free republic, democratic country that when we vote, we're supposed to vote for a representative that has the best interests of all of us, and now we don't. We have a gas bag that we voted in with all the trimmings and all the idiots following afterwards. Some are actually destroying access to government files, records, denying it, and they're not even elected officials. No, we got a billionaire doing that. The apex doing that. The mushbag, the mushmouth, whatever you would call him. I don't dare call him by his name. He dared interfere with our government system in many ways. He thinks he's entitled. He blocked access to federal workers, trying to get access to information they need for their own record keeping. A billionaire who's not an employee or a voted in representative of any sort. No, he decides he's going to throw his money and weight around and influence everybody else to do the job for him, and puts in his own goons into our government system. Meanwhile, we got an orange gas bag who got into office last month, and for nearly 2 weeks, on longer than that, making sure that his threats are carried out. And now we're in trouble. We're already seeing accidents happening. We're already seeing people. A president of the United States elected into office twice now went golfing this weekend. We already had tragedy. Doesn't matter. He didn't even want to see this, the area. Might be too wet for him. We had Congress, weak-willed as they are, decided to vote in the puppets who's starting to get rid of people left and right. There have been words and warnings with the FBI to get rid of those who were involved with the January 6th Commission, any way, shape, or form. That's a lot of agents involved with this event that happened a few years back. That still is affecting us to this day. And some of those who got released are going back into the system again. State charges this time, not federal, because of heinous acts they've been doing. I never saw to see my country devolving. We kept thinking we're going to be great again. Nope. Nope. When they start using police, start using actually federal agencies as police to throw away the Constitution, to go into people's homes just to arrest them for what? Or worse than a fascist state. Of course, the networks are trying to say it or not say it. And so is the print media out there. But they don't want to go insane on it because it would scare the hell out of them. Fighting for the American Republic, fighting for justice, liberty, truth, Constitution. So I guess the Constitution no longer matters. Neither did the Declaration of Independence. Maybe we should not have been so rebellious a long time ago that we still would have allowed the government of England, the monarchy, to be our primary once and for all. Maybe that would have been the better, safe bet of having troops quartered in your home, of getting charged for nothing, just to be charged and shot or harassed, taxed out of your mind, can't afford anything, but they still want resources out of you. You still want the money because the home countries still fight against each other and they want resources more. Meanwhile, the people who we did the manifest destiny on don't know which particular country that they can trust since they're backstabbing each other and also backstabbing the people of the country that they just invaded, all because of manifest destiny. People were taught of history and still looked blindly. Oh, they were taught about the empires. Didn't think it was going to happen. But guess what? We turned into one. We'll be turning into that pretty shortly. We'll be turning into an autocratic society where economy is breaking down left and right. Prices going up, fuel prices going up. Of course, we have electric vehicles are pieces of crap. Artificial intelligence is supposed to do something about that. Yeah, only if you're rich and wealthy and it probably kills people in the process. Anybody qualified to be air traffic controllers get terminated left and right because of political expediency. God forbid it should be woke and liberal or under DEI. No, they must be purged according to the empire, the Imperial Trump Empire, however you want to pronounce it, however you want to label it. The FBI are turning into bounty hunters. Someone's supposed to be maintaining our country's integrity is thrown out the window. Now the FBI is becoming those we cannot stand and forecasted a long time ago, apparently. People have been talking about it for decades. We just didn't happen to see it happen. We thought it was going to be the UN coming in with Black Hawk helicopters. No, no, because at the rate that things are going right now, the Black Hawk helicopters will be our own federal forces and military. We're going to be turning into concentration camps. We're going to be turning into slavery camps. I think I'm kidding. We're already at that point right now, as it is. We thought we want higher wages. It's going to be reversed. States may do it, but then companies will be shutting down because you can't afford it. Insurance rates be going out of the windows, and the prices of everything else will not keep up with the because other people didn't think about it, did they? No, they wanted to support the new regime. They wanted to support the new different political party would help, and they don't help broke loose. Especially when that Trumplican party backstabbed their own supporters, sending them across into the other countries, kicking American citizens out of the United States. Try this one. How about Mexico saying that okay, your United States citizens are no longer welcome in the country of Mexico here because you don't have the proper paperwork. Tit for tat. Of course, we got a madman saying that he's going to be doing tariffs on everybody, as if we're paying enough taxes right now as it is. We don't get tax breaks. We got to pay more taxes out of our damn pockets. Food prices going up. Medical costs are going outrageous at this point. I wouldn't be surprised if the Trumplicans went after the Obamacare one more time. I wouldn't put it past these assholes. I'm making sure that the insurance companies rake everybody else while everybody else gets denied services and coverage. Of course, hospitals will be going under, not to mention the doctor's offices and medical groups, because they can't keep up with the damn payments for their own practices to be in continuation. So they'll be losing their licenses. They'll be losing their facilities that we need for desperately. Not unless you're well connected to the rich, to the powerful, to the oligarchy. Swear absolute fealty and swear absolute loyalty to them. They may protect your ass. Of course, some of those people who kept saying that are getting their asses kicked. Too much so. Too much so. So now we don't know whether or not the politicians are going to be useful or not. Well, if they happen to start passing laws, it gets reversed or vetoed by the executive branch. Meaning, if Trump doesn't like it, he'll just veto the damn thing or just leave it alone. It'll go dying off, right? But according to what we have in the Constitution, if they're still law abiding, 2/3 vote will be keeping the thing in live. So it'll be live and active. Therefore, hopefully interpreted by the court systems. If they're also following the U.S. Constitution. But if they're Trumplicans, 50-50 crapshoot on that one. But again, would the executive branch follow the laws? Apparently not, because he already made the cardinal sin by lying when he made the oath. He didn't swear on anything. So he started doing his dastardly shit on the first day and continues on. While he plays golf, the rich get richer and don't give a shit about anybody else, but they'll do the slavery. I said about civil war because eventually we're going to be coming into that particular zone. We're already getting into the stages of it. I kept saying to people, history, history, history. People just don't bother to understand it or read it or want to learn about it because this also affects them a great deal. How the hell did we get into the Civil War the first time back in 1860? They keep looking at the political crap. They say it was the Democrats' fault. It's always the Democrats' fault. Well, If they remembered what the Democrats were like, the Democrats then are the Republicans now. They somehow reversed themselves back in the early 1900s somehow. So now, the so-called Republicans, but actually Trumplicans, they're all replicants. Form and fashion and ideology. They want power, corruption. They think they'll have their little universe. But they always keep forgetting the apex of the pyramid there. It's on top of their power struggle, revolution, civil war. But when we had the Civil War, it was not about going a presidency or a government. It was about several states who got sick and tired of the North and they were going to leave. If that wasn't bad enough, they wanted things the way they were, which meant black people were slaves, Latinos, maybe slaves, but slaves nevertheless didn't matter. And they want to keep status quo. But the thing is, they were going to secede from the Union. That would have been a confederacy. Each state would have been responsible for its own territory and its own actions. And if they happen to get into a war with somebody, maybe themselves, so much for cohesiveness. Meanwhile, if there was a split, what was left would have been the other colonies still trying to negotiate their way for more territory, try to make more advancements, maybe, possibly, free slaves, emancipate them. God forbid we should actually do that to people who are slavery. But we did that to the blacks. And we had a long, drawn out 4-year war destroying property, people, ideologies, everything in the process. Because they probably wanted to continue the damn war anyway. Or get broke. Or destroying places that could have been, should have been salvaged. Tore apart families. Tore apart everybody. Left a lot of wounded walking, barely walking. Blacks would eventually get their freedom, beginning stages of it. But how do you reconcile that with the South that just wanted to be left alone? And form hate groups to terrorize everybody. Well, it's the blacks anyway. That was their legacy because they hated them that great. They thought they were worthless human beings. This property, that's about it. Not capable of doing anything or thinking anything. They're just slaves. Well, I think we're being that right now as it is. People keep fighting off against the wages that we've got or had in certain states that they've got wage increases. Now we've got businesses jumping off because they can't deal with that. Business, financials, whatever the kind of excuses coming up. Even out here in the town of Roseman, if they happen to increase the wages over here, the service is not all that great these days. Curtail people, more technology, and watch the whole system collapse. They think it's artificial intelligence is going to solve their ass. Heh, not really. But the oligarchies would inform us one way or another through the media that they control and therefore manipulate the crap out of us. Well, we didn't think about that one a long time ago. We thought the independents were pure and altruistic. Everyone's got a slant every time they kept saying news. But didn't think of it a day. Nope. Never once. We thought things were going to be differently when we put the or reinstalled the emperor back on his throne again. And because of that, from his throne, he's making a lot of executive orders to screw people over left and right while he goes playing golf. Acting directors that don't know their ass from a hot rock are scrambling like crazy trying to get their jobs done. And the Federal Bureau of Investigation turns out to be less integrity than anything else because the Trumplicans want it. Want to destroy the FBI and every intelligence agency because they don't want to be involved. They don't want their property, their things to be touched, including a space race going on. Oh, geez, Starship was being attacked by the government. How dare they? Being attacked by a few agencies. How dare they? So let's make sure that they get discredited because one guy with the biggest ego on the fucking planet, larger than Trump or anybody else for that matter, and it's the only time I'm going to say about the trash bag. He wants, because he says so, he's Musk. Ugh, mush, actually. Mush brain. With the biggest fucking balloon head. Filled with too much hot air and too much gas. Too much ego. Too much pride. Because he's got money. Eventually, that's not going to help him very much down the road. All that paper is not going to help him very much that he's got in stocks for his companies. But what if his companies go under? Then what's he worth? Of course, you'll have other people try to prop him up, maybe. But yeah, we have the independents still trying to tell us, and maybe they're right, that we have the oligarchs, we have the money brokers, more in control of anything else than we have right now. So maybe instead of just a country going into a civil war, we'll have a global civil war or just a global war itself for resources. We'll turn it into Mad Max. Everybody else for themselves. Screw the Constitution, bring the damn thing up is only killing. Everything that you know and loved about America tossed away in someone else's bad memory. We're there. We're getting there. You throw away the prosecutors, you throw away the attorneys, you throw away all the evidence of all the bad shit that the trash bag and the oligarchs and the money bags have done. They think they're too damn high up there because they're on pyramid. These guys keep forgetting about pyramids. How do they support? Usually by the thin sticks that keep supporting them. Of course, you throw in the law enforcement out there to harangue them all, but eventually those pillars are going to be collapsing. Then how they with it? I'll be expecting that to happen, but it's probably not going to happen in my lifetime. Oh no, I'm going to be expecting to see pounding on the door maybe about 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock in the morning and demanding I get out of here, and they're going to be arresting me for nothing. Just arrest me. I'll be dragged away to some kind of damn camp that they're trying to put up. Maybe they'll send me to Gitmo. They can't send me to Mexico because I'm not Latino. I might. What are they going to do? Am I a Christian? Well, I'm not going to be answering that shibboleth. That's for damn sure. But I'm not going to cooperate as much either. Of course, they can threaten me with death. I've been there, done that. What else do you want? No, I figured that the people won't do a damn thing. They'll roll over and pretend it's not happening. Like every other damn country that turned into an autocratic society, a tyrannical paradise. And we gave it to them with a song and a smile. Yeah, I got something for that one there, guys. It's not thinking about it this time. We're getting close to that point. We're almost there. The question is, what are you guys going to do?